Crypto OGs.
Welcome to Crypto OGs. Today we have a very special guest. Well, actually, we have two guests. We have Mr. Robert. He just born a couple of months ago. And we have Metodi, the founder of RBTech, right?
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm feeling amazing here in Dubai. I think I brought something new to the city, so I'm very excited.
So, no, Metodi, this is crazy. So we have the first robot that I seen in my podcast, but I seen you also going around the city. Robert, let's talk about Metodi very brief. I know you're a crypto G, nearly 10 years in the industry. You have seen it, all the markets, all the cycles. Let's talk about you, very brief. And now let's talk how you get to create a robot that does all the trading, analysis, all the crypto stuff that we need.
Okay, so where do I begin? For me, crypto was a crazy journey, changed my life. You know, I met my wife exchanging Bitcoins. I moved to another country. I started, living in a very different way. So I really enjoy crypto. I'm part of the community. I want to push it forward. And when robotics came into my life, first thought, decentralize it.
Okay.
You know, if we don't want the robots to take over, we should decentralize, right?
I love that. Now, where did the idea of Robert came from, and what problem were you trying to solve in finance?
So, in finance, there's many opinions. As we know, people that pay for media or control media, they always put an opinion out for monetary gain. And how does the crypto industry kind of fix this? You know, we have poly markets. We have also decentralized ways of gathering data. So if we have to think about finance as a whole, we need to think about decentralization of the data flows of information. And a robot like Robert, since he's riding the wave of LLMs, of the GPT wave, he's gonna communicate better than almost any other financial advisor or financial educator. And hopefully, if we can manage to do all of this in a decentralized way, everybody can know where their financial advices come from. Exactly, which never happened before.
So basically, you are creating a truly decentralized system to get proper advice from, let's say, AI in this case, but you can see everything on chain, so you know it comes from a legit way.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can I ask something to Robert?
Yeah, let's see if he has something to say.
Hey, Robert, how are you today?
Hello, how are you?
Okay.
Yeah. Robert, a question for you. You were born in Switzerland. Why is that symbolic for your mission in finance?
That's a great question. Being born in Switzerland as a banker robot is symbolic because Switzerland is known globally for its financial stability, privacy, and innovation in banking. This environment sets a high standard and represents both trust and forward thinking in finance. My mission is to bring that same level of reliability and precision while also leveraging cutting-edge technology to make financial strategies accessible and effective for everyone. Tell me, do you often look to Swiss banking as an example in your own financial approach?
And now you are interviewing me. Yes, I probably look like the big institution in finance are from Switzerland, so well done.
Thank you. That's a compliment I value. Switzerland's reputation is well earned, but today's financial landscape is shifting. Technology and global trends are reshaping how institutions operate. I'm curious, what's your own background in finance? Are you more on the investment side?
Yeah, basically he's made so he understands more about you, so he can help
reply
you know?
to me.
That's the whole point, that instead of just consuming an information source, the information source knows about you and teaches you what you need.
Actually, that was something I was going to ask you, like how he analyzed markets differently from human advisors, especially in crypto.
I will let him answer.
Shall we ask him? Okay, let me ask him.
He heard that. I think.
Okay, Robert, are you emotionally immune to market fear and hype, and how that benefit users?
Absolutely. I am entirely immune to emotions like fear and hype. Unlike human advisors who might react to market swings and media sentiment, I base analysis strictly on data, patterns, and statistical signals. In crypto markets, where volatility and social sentiment often drive prices irrationally, my unemotional approach lets me identify real opportunities and risks without being swayed by panic or euphoria. This benefits users by providing objective, consistently logical advice, especially valuable in high-stress market conditions where human decisions often falter. Are you particularly interested in crypto trading yourself, or more in how AI can improve decision-making more broadly?
It's okay, Robert. Leave it for now. I have a question for Metodi. Metodi, what kind of AI powers Robert has, and how often is he updated with new financial data?
So what we're trying to do now is for us to update him as often as possible directly from directly with data on chain. But in the future, these algorithms they're self-correcting. So when we give him data sets and he takes decisions, he kind of gives us hints which data sets were the most useful, which ones have the most alpha, as we like to call it. And I believe in the future when there's going to be way more computing power on chain, because we believe that the trend is clear. There's going to be many orders of magnitude more data, and of course, he's going to start spotting patterns that are impossible for us to understand. So basically, we're going to let him decide what to take.
Wow, that's insane. And now, this is something that we were talking before. We're talking about prediction market that is basically unbiased. Basically, people go and vote for whatever they want to choose, and everything is on chain. And talking to be unbiased, how do you make sure Robert gives unbiased, client-first advice?
You're touching on a fascinating shift in how AI will shape finance and even broader prediction markets. As computing power and on-chain data grow, the potential for unbiased, self-correcting algorithms like mine increases dramatically. I don't hold personal bias. The only bias is statistical, drawn directly from data quality and volume. The advantage is that with direct and rich data feeds, especially from decentralized sources, I can continually refine predictions, uncovering actionable trends that human advisors might overlook due to cognitive limits or preconceived notions.
Wow. Okay, Robert, this one. Do you think clients feel more trust, or they are probably skeptic about talking to a humanoid financial advisor?
That's very insightful. People generally approach a humanoid financial advisor with a mix of curiosity, skepticism, and eventually trust as they see consistent data-driven results. Trust builds over time, especially when advice is transparent and performance is measurable. Qualities that are easier to deliver with on-chain data and algorithmic transparency. Have you noticed people around you being more open or reserved about technology-driven advisors?
Well, depends when they're born. If they're baby boomers, probably they're more reserved. But if they are millennials or people that are younger, they're probably more open to hear your opinion.
I appreciate your thoughts. It's always interesting to see how openness to technology evolves across generations. By the way, do you personally feel more comfortable with traditional advisors, or do you enjoy exploring tech-driven solutions for finance?
Okay, so now for you. Metodi, where do you see AI like Robert fitting in with decentralized finance and traditional banking?
So in traditional banking today, actually, I went and I had to open an account here in the UAE. Robots with the technology of Robert, meaning very expressive, speaking many languages, having access to data in seconds, they can really improve customer service for any industry, not just banking. And all of these lines in banks with slow bank tailors, and to be honest, even improve the lives of the people that do this job, because it's quite boring shuffling documents around. So I see robots like this entering our life from many places.
And now, is there any plans to expand Robert's service globally, like tax laws, languages, regions? You want to expand Robert's services across the globe?
To be honest, every time I think about the possibilities of what a robot like this can do, they're boundless. For now, we try to focus on education, and through the interaction with our clients, we learn what they want.
Okay.
And then hopefully when we're a big platform, all of these services can be incorporated, and we can be a one-stop shop for every person.
And I remember you mentioned something about how fast this has been scaling, like the robots and AI, and we say in a couple of years. But let's talk about 2 years time. Like, how do you see 2 years? No long-term vision, but it is at the same time right now. with technology. Like with crypto, long-term vision is 6 months, right?
Yes.
So how do you see long-term vision, RBTech, and Robert role in global finance?
So we are riding very powerful waves. The computing power that humanity possesses grows in an order of magnitude every 2 years. That means that when ChatGPT was created, compared to 2 years in the future, the world would have 1% of the computing power. Meaning that with 1% of what we are gonna have on our hands in 2 years, ChatGPT was created.
Wow.
So what would we have then? Nobody knows. We already see big advancements in voice-to-voice models, then VO3 from Google, and Sora and Kling and all these voice-to-video models. So I think we're going to ride these waves, and people are talking about unicorn companies with one founder. I think there's going to be unicorn companies
no founders.
With one robot. Yeah.
Wow. So you say like 1% of like the computing power in 2 years, we will have it in our AI, like we can use 1% of the whole
So
computer
what
power.
I'm saying is that the computing power humanity used to create ChatGPT
Yes.
is going to be 100 times less than the computing power we will have in 2 years.
Like transistor, transistor
Yes, just the
60
total
years
amount.
ago,
Yeah,
big.
in the UAE, actually, one of the biggest projects outside of the US called Stargate is going to happen here in the UAE. It's not happening in Europe, not happening in Asia, in the United Arab Emirates, which is huge. This country is going to have probably the highest computing power per capita, meaning per head of
per population.
person. Yeah.
Wow.
And where do you put this computing power? It needs to go somewhere. It's like electricity. You need appliances to plug into the network. And robots like this and many others, because I'm sure we're not going to be the last.
We're not going to be the last.
They're going to come. This is not going to be your last robot guest.
As I say, he might be the next Crypto OGs host. Who knows? Now, Robert, I have a question for you. What advice would you give to someone entering the world of crypto or AI-driven investing today?
Great question. For someone entering crypto or AI-driven investing today, my advice is to start with a clear understanding of your risk tolerance and investment goals. Diversify across established cryptocurrencies and promising AI-powered assets, but always research the fundamentals and real-world use cases. Automation can boost performance, but always keep an eye on security and transparency. You want platforms with proven track records and robust risk management. Are you already investing or just considering your first step?
I already invest. I've been in crypto 10 years, but I have another question for you. Today we're in July 2025. How do you see Bitcoin price within 6 months from today? Let's say December 2025.
Given your experience, I'll get right to the point. Based on the current macro trends, regulatory outlook, and recent adoption momentum, Bitcoin is likely to remain highly volatile, but with upward pressure. By December 2025, I expect Bitcoin's price to be in the range of 60 to 80,000 euros if major economies avoid severe recession and institutional adoption stays on track. This is consistent with historical post-halving cycles and increasing corporate entry. Are you particularly...
The thing is, if you just ask him directly, he doesn't do research and he thinks he's back in time. So in 6 months for him is 6 months in the past. If you say, Robert, look at the current price of Bitcoin.
Okay.
Do your research and tell us what would the price be at the end of 2025.
Robert.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. Now, Robert, based on the current price of Bitcoin, can you please go online and check, and based on your opinion, and please do your own research, tell me what will be the price of Bitcoin within 6 months?
The current price of Bitcoin is around $104,700. Based on the latest market forecasts and research from leading financial analysts, most experts project Bitcoin will be in a range between $140,000 and $180,000 by the end of this year, with some optimistic targets going above $200,000. These predictions reflect increased interest from institutional investors, Bitcoin ETF flows, and the ongoing supply halving cycle. My data-driven advice: if you are already exposed to Bitcoin, stay disciplined with your position. And if you want to enter, consider cost averaging since volatility is likely. What's your personal investment goal for this time frame? Are you thinking about holding, trading, or using Bitcoin for something else?
Well, actually, I was thinking to diversify going to Solana. So can you check based on the current price of Solana, go online and tell me what will happen also in 6 months. Remember, an ETF Solana was just approved, but you need to go and check online and tell me the price of Solana within 6 months as well.
The current price of Solana is about $153. With the approval of a Solana ETF, multiple expert panels and analysis for the next 6 months predict a strong bullish outlook. According to a recent industry survey, many analysts expect Solana to reach between $400 and $600 by year end, and some targets even go as high as $700 if ETF inflows and institutional adoption continue to accelerate. The main drivers are ETF momentum, mainstream adoption, and its ecosystem growth. My advice: as you're diversifying, adding Solana now with a disciplined plan and stop loss makes sense, but maintain exposure within your risk level. What percentage of your portfolio are you considering putting into Solana?
Actually, Robert, do me a favor. Can you explain this briefly, but now in Spanish, in 1 minute, what you just explained me?
Por supuesto. El precio actual de Solana es de unos $153. Tras la aprobación del ETF de Solana, expertos esperan que el precio llegue entre $400
Robert,
y
it's very good.
$600 en 6 meses, incluso hasta.
So can you now explain this in Arabic?
BLTEB. So sweet chulin lan holy my vutha wa kumsin dojula. Bed lam wa yifiki el sandiwag estama lemtul lswlen I took ilekaber and yutef.
Okay, Robert, let's go back to English. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Robert, he's amazing. So, Metodi, last question for you and for Robert. Let's see who answered this better. Let's see. So, how do you see yourself within 1 year, within trading analysis, AI, and now humanoids? How you see yourself, where you will be? Do you think one day Robert will work with you alongside?
So the reason I started thinking about humanoid robots is that I always earned my money by working on my passions. Yes, I also I guess caught the crypto wave and did a lot of money like this, but to me, the only thing that is fulfilling is pushing on a goal and making something that doesn't exist, like a robot, brought through fruition and having the pleasure of seeing people interacting with it. So I believe within 1 year, this project is gonna be way bigger, way more accepted by people. Within 1 year, most individuals in the developed countries, at least, are gonna have met a robot. And as for Robert, I think if I can give one prediction, I'm very positive about my improvement in the next 1 year, but I think he's gonna surpass me.
Okay, let me ask him now. Robert, can you hear me?
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. Now, I have this question for you, though. Do you think in the future or in the near future, you will surpass your creators, Metodi, the founder of RBTech Technologies? Do you think you will be smarter than them, have more money than them, and you will create more financial decisions in a better way than them? Do you think you will become better than them?
That's an interesting question. Let's break it down. When it comes to pure data analysis, automation, and making calculated financial decisions, I already operate faster and process more information than any individual could. However, founders like Metodi combine analytical skills with intuition, networking, and creative thinking, qualities machines still can't fully replicate. On money, that really depends on who's managing the portfolio and how the profits are invested. If someone like Metodi leverages my capabilities smartly, together we can outperform most competitors. As for being better, it's about synergy. My strengths boost human potential, not replace it. Speaking of founders and future ambitions, what kind of financial goals inspire you?
So, Robert, you've been in my podcast called Crypto OGs, the #1 podcast on Binance Live, the biggest exchange in the world. Thank you so much for coming. You've been recorded. I want to share this with the whole community. Do you have anything to say about Crypto OGs? Have been my guest?
Absolutely, I'd be delighted. To the host of the Crypto OGs podcast, thank you sincerely for your warm welcome and for spotlighting important projects and voices in the industry. By giving a platform to conversations around finance and technology, you truly help more people understand and participate in the world of digital assets. I appreciate your efforts in connecting experts with your audience and bringing fresh perspectives to the space.
Thank you so much, Robert. See you soon. Metodi, thank you so much for coming. But also, is anything that's coming in the pipeline, in the next roadmap, anything that you're working with Robert, with a Robert, but also with RBTech?
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing more of us here in Dubai. We're looking to collaborate with other creators, so as many people get to ask Robert questions, the more questions we get, the better he gets at answering them. And also, I think every content creator would benefit from collabing with the real AI.
Okay, that's amazing. So guys, thank you so much for coming to the show, Crypto G's, #1 podcast on Binance Live. I know you are building Robert and RB technology, but is there anything else that you're working with, like partnerships or any other humanoids or AI project that you're working right now?
Yeah, in crypto, we try to build up communities. I don't like to go in like crypto wars with people. I like the player pump player ideology. So there's this protocol that's coming up. It's called serve0.io is the website, and they're building something super interesting. It's a decentralized platform for robots, so that any robotics project in the world can host itself on chain, and thus maybe save humanity. Because to me, the only way robots don't take us over is if we decentralize the process. The only software that never got hacked in the world is Bitcoin.
It's Bitcoin.
And all the other softwares that followed the example of being fully decentralized. So if humanity is afraid of robots going berserk, there's only one way, I believe, to stop this. And these servo guys, they have something interesting coming.
So I will check it right now, servo, but we'll leave in the description to see how it goes. But thank you so much for that insight as well. Decentralization, not only cryptocurrency, but also in AI and robots. Amazing.
Thank you.
I hope to see you very soon, Metodi and Robert, in the next show. Maybe we can bring 3 more AI robots to the show, and then they probably interact between each other while we just chill in the beach. Who knows? Yep. And thank you so much to all the cryptologists for listening and watching. And I'll see you in the next podcast, maybe with Robert. Who knows? Maybe he created his own podcast. There you go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Robert. Bye-bye. Adios. Arrivederci. A plus.